Hello, my name is Victor, and Netflix is down about 20% since September, and I am starting to ask the question, is Netflix a buy here at the end of 2025? Unless you have been living under a rock for the last quarter here, I'm sure you have heard that Netflix is looking to buy out Warner Brothers, and they are willing to pay a total of about $83 billion. But there has been a lot of drama ever since that offer was announced, with Paramount coming in with a counteroffer of about $108 billion and all in cash. And this has led some investors and people in general to start asking the question, is this the start of a bidding war? Because this would not bode well for Netflix. The fear here is that Netflix made their offer, Paramount counteroffers, Netflix makes a higher offer, of course, and then Paramount will just keep on going and just causing a whole lot of trouble for Netflix. Add to this also government and regulatory concerns because, a lot of people here are going to start screaming monopoly, but we'll get to that a little bit later in the video. And the final part here in the drama show that has been Netflix trying to buy out Warner Brothers is a breakup fee of about $6 billion that Netflix would have to pay if this deal doesn't go through. And just like we mentioned, with the counteroffer, with the government and regulatory concerns, there's a very good chance that this deal is blocked. And again, investors don't like to see their companies losing billions of dollars if they can avoid it. Okay, but what are my three key takeaways from this deal? Coming in at number one would be that Netflix would be the undisputed king of streamers with a market dominance that could not be rivaled if the deal goes through. I mean, just thinking back to the last couple of years here, Netflix has had some amazing shows on their platform. I'm thinking K-Pop Demon Hunter, Squid Games, the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. I mean, you name it, and I'm sure you've heard about all of these things here, and every single event or show that I just named is through Netflix. And now just stop and think about all of the shows that they would get if they were to acquire Warner Brothers. Immediately, right off the top of my head, I'm thinking Harry Potter, which I am a huge fan of. I was that one kid who was always reading the books on the school bus, heading to and from school. Shout out to all of my Ravenclaw homies out there. And another massive show that Warner Brothers owns is Game of Thrones. Again, one of my favorite shows of all time. In my opinion, I still think that seasons 1 through 4 of Game of Thrones were peak television. I'm talking absolute cinema here. Although I didn't really like the second season as much, the first season of House of the Dragon I absolutely loved. The main reason why I couldn't get behind the second season as much is because they went away from the source material. Don't mess up a good story when you already have it laid out for you. What are y'all doing? But okay, I'm getting a little bit off the rails here. I'm really passionate about both of those shows, as I'm sure you can tell. My second takeaway from this deal is, again, the consumer and creator impact, because I am sure that a lot of people are going to start screaming monopoly. Like we mentioned, the market dominance that Netflix would have would be unparalleled. I can't even think of another company that even comes close to rivaling Netflix right now. I mean, yeah, you've got Paramount Plus, maybe Disney Plus, but really, to me, it's not even close. Maybe one of you knows some numbers or some statistics to back up that claim, but to me, when I think of streaming, I think of Netflix. And with that dominance, Netflix would be able to charge basically whatever they want. I mean, what are you going to do? Not watch Netflix? Not watch the most popular, the best shows that are going on right now? And this would have a huge impact on Hollywood. I have seen several articles already about the concerns because some people are viewing this as Netflix's attempt to just end movie theaters. And I, for one, kind of see it from their perspective because, yeah, I, for one, have only gone to the movie theaters maybe once or twice in the last 3 years. That's me personally. So if you're telling me that Netflix is going to come in they're going to acquire Warner Brothers, who is a huge movie producer. I'm thinking the DC hero movies. All of these DC movie heroes, instead of going out in theaters, could go straight to Netflix. So if you wanted to watch them, you would have to have a subscription with Netflix and stream it in your home. Again, something that would absolutely wreck the movie theater industry, Hollywood. I mean, it would be an absolute mess. And last but not least, my final takeaway, number 3, would be the financial and regulatory risk that Netflix is taking trying to acquire Warner Brothers here. Financially, because just like we talked about, the billions of dollars that they're putting up here for Warner Brothers, the potential to lose those $6 billion right out of the gate. And then some people would argue that $83 billion is very steep. A very steep price to pay for Warner Brothers right now. And come to think of it, there's also, I'm going to just loop it in here with this final takeaway here, but thinking about Netflix is they are very stream oriented, obviously. So why would a company who is primarily and only focused on streaming go out of their way to buy Warner Brothers? I mean, what are they going to do? Mix HBO Max and Netflix into one app? Are they going to keep separate teams that are working on both of the apps separately? How exactly would that work? It's potentially adding a lot of complications here that they could just outright avoid. Now, having said all of that, Netflix has pretty much given up all of its gains in 2025 because of this offer to acquire Warner Brothers. Netflix is only up about 3% for the year, and that immediately caught my attention as an investor. Because Netflix is a stock I actually have never owned, but it is one that I have seen perform, come in with their numbers, and just outright, it's an amazing stock. I don't know why I haven't gotten into it earlier. I probably just haven't had an opportunity or a potential opportunity like I'm seeing right now. I haven't really done all of my research here, and again, I always encourage my viewers not to copy what I'm doing. Do your own research. I just like to give my opinion and give you my thought process because I think it's entertaining. But okay, a quick PE ratio analysis of Netflix here. We're gonna storm through here in about a minute. A fair PE ratio, in my opinion, for Netflix is about a 50 to 51. The current trailing PE ratio for Netflix as of December 2025 is a 38. Already looking pretty good. And a forward PE ratio for Netflix going into 2026, I have at a 29. So again, they're about flat. They lost all of the gains that they had in 2025. So it's like I'm buying Netflix as if it were January of 2025 here. Love it. Their PE ratio is looking incredibly good for an investor like myself who loves to get into companies when they have some kind of news that is bringing the stock down. Everybody's scared. Nobody wants to own it. I mean, that is when I shine as an investor because I love to get amazing stocks at a discount. So I do have to do my research here. I'm going to look at their quarterly reports, their 10K. I'm going to, do some more research, absolutely. But I want to let y'all know that I always play the long game when it comes to starting a new position in stocks. Now, Netflix could stay down here for the next 12 to 18 months because this isn't going to be this offer to acquire Warner Brothers and a potential bidding war with Paramount. It's not something that's going to be wrapped up here in the next couple of weeks or the next couple of months. This could drag out for at least a year, and Netflix's stock price could be heavily affected during that entire time. But again, being a little bit of a devil's advocate here, I always, whenever I'm going to start a position in a stock, think of it in terms 3 to 5 years out into the future. I really don't care what anybody is saying about a stock here or what might happen here in the next 3, 6, 12 months. It's completely irrelevant to me. To me, that is thinking in the short term. Long term to me is thinking multiple years out into the future. So short-term moves here, like in the next 12 to 18 months, in my opinion, in my perspective, gives me a great buying opportunity when it comes to stocks. Because whenever people are becoming irrational and selling stocks just because of news, that is when I see buying opportunities. So in my opinion, Netflix is looking pretty good right now, but I would love to get your opinion on Netflix stock down below. What do you think about this potential merger? Do you think that Netflix should be stopped because it would create a monopoly? Or do you think that Netflix, because they are the #1 streamer, should just go ahead and buy out Warner Brothers and get rid of the movie industry because it's outdated? As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give me a like, subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.